Hello students, welcome to Bio 105. My name is Crystal Pierce and I'm going to be your instructor this summer. I wanted to take just a few minutes in this video to introduce you to the course, to show you around our Blackboard course shell, help you to navigate to figure out where course materials are located and what types of things you'll need to be able to successfully complete this course. So let's go ahead and get started. I will post a weekly announcement every week here on the announcement page. And that weekly announcement is going to include all of the important information you need to know about what's coming up that week. So I'll give you a really brief overview of what you'll be learning. I'm going to lay out for you the assignments and all of the due dates so you know exactly what is due and when. And then I also typically tend to do one of these videos on a weekly basis as well. For some people, it's easier just to read through what you need to do and go about your day. Other people prefer to actually watch the videos and kind of get to see what to expect for the week. So whichever method you choose, it's entirely up to you. But I just like to provide lots of opportunities for you all to sort of get to know the format and the feel of the class. So you can find some information here. There's, again, some basic things. I'm assuming most of you are current Harper students, but I know every summer we also do have students who are from other places, other colleges, universities. They're home for the summer. So for those of you who are sort of newer to Harper or are just passing through to take some summer courses, welcome. Again, we are completely online. This is a fully online course, so there are no campus visits. There's no office hours as far as physical hours go, so I can't meet you on campus. However, if you would like to get a hold of me, I will be holding office hours. I call them on demand. So I can use WebEx. I can use a tool we have here in Blackboard called Collaborate Ultra. There's a variety of different ways we can have face-to-face conversations if you're interested. If that's something that you would like to do, please feel free to email me. As far as summer availability goes, I'm generally going to be available during the day by email from about 9:30 till 3:30 in the afternoon. It doesn't mean you can't email me outside of those hours. It just means that if you email me during that time, I'll be able to get back to you really quickly. I will sort of let you know that a little bit about me. This is my 13th year at Harper, I think. So I've been here for 13 years. I was an adjunct for the first 8 of those years and became full-time several years ago. I do have 2 kids. They will be here with me during the summer, and so I might not always be glued to my computer all summer long as far as availability goes. So I do have to work around their schedules. But again, as long as you send me an email and sort of say, hey, I'd really like to talk about whatever it happens to be. Is there a time we can set something up? I'm sure we can find a time to do so, but I just kind of wanted to give you all that little heads up that I do have kids. They will be home with me this summer, and so my schedule may be a little, a little crazy at times, or even just, hey, the kids want to go to the pool today. I'm going to take my kids to the pool, so I'm just giving you all a heads up about that ahead of time. Next thing you're going to find here is our syllabus and schedule. Please make sure you go through the syllabus completely. I have pulled out some important details from the syllabus, including our schedule. Remember that this is an 8-week course. 8 weeks means we cover all of the material in half the amount of time. So please keep in mind that you'll notice just about every single week we are covering multiple topics. The course does move pretty quickly. We do have a fairly quick pace because we only have 8 weeks to get through things. There are 2 exams. Every week you're expected to participate in discussion and you're expected to do weekly activities. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what those weekly activities are a little bit later on in this video, but I do sort of want to sort of lay that out. So each week we're covering, again, a couple of different topics. Readings will be several different chapters, and then again, sort of these assignments. And this is going to be a set weekly tone, so you can expect kind of the same thing week by week by week. It's not going to change or vary very dramatically at all. In addition, I've given you information about my grading system, including the different types of assignments we have, and again, how many points you can expect for the course, a breakdown of the different things that we'll be doing here as well. This is just, again, quick reference. Please do go through the syllabus completely, though. That's going to be your best point of reference for information. In the course materials link here, I have information that's necessary to take the course, but this isn't your weekly material. So those are in your learning modules. That's what you're going to be accessing on a week-to-week basis. Course materials is just other things that you should know. We're going to be using an OER text this summer, so there's no textbook that you need to purchase. My OER text comes from the CK12 Foundation, and this is College Human Biology. Again, it's a completely free textbook. All you need is a link to link to, and you can sort of go through the text. I'll send you the very specific parts of this book that we're going to be using. Obviously, as a human biology textbook, there's a lot of stuff in here we're not going to use, but there's also some things that we will use. We're also going to be taking advantage of their adaptive practice assignments. So unlike some OER texts, CK12 actually has a system by which I can set you up with basically practice assignments that sort of quiz you on what you know about what you've read, and the questions are adaptable. So if you answer questions wrong, it will sort of go back and try different questions, and it'll point you to, oh, we didn't quite get this, maybe you should read this section again. So it's similar to other systems if you've ever used McGraw-Hill's Connect, or if you've used Mastering by McPherson. Not exactly the same, because this is an entirely free system, but again, the idea here is that it should give you a good way to connect what you're reading sort of with your comprehension, and that's really the idea here. So you all will receive an email that will actually give you instructions on how to sign up, because you have to sign up for my class, and I actually give you assignments through CK12. So there's more information about that here as far as how you can actually get that all set up and registered for it. I also have some information about grading rubrics, so how I'm going to be grading discussion posts, for example. You might want to check that out. We do have a project that we're going to be doing this semester. It's nothing big, I promise you. It's just something to sort of pull together all the information that you've learned this semester and just show me what you know. That's all it is. So the details of that are here in this media project. I'm not going to go into detail on it. I'll have a whole other video about that you can watch so you can learn more about it. But that information is here, as well as some privacy and some copyright information. On a week-to-week basis, you're mostly going to be staying here in our learning modules. So each week I will provide your weekly content here, which includes everything that you need. I'd like you to start at the course orientation folder, right? It says start here. This is where I'd like you to begin. So I'm opening the Blackboard shell up a few days early in the hopes that the majority of you will actually go through the course orientation before the class even starts, because again, we go at a very, very quick pace here. So this just has some really basic information. So what I have in here is a copy of this course orientation video is here. It hasn't been posted yet because I'm recording it right now, but it's going to be posted right here. There's also some information on how to submit an assignment through Blackboard if you've never done that before. If, again, depending on what college you might be joining us from, you might be using a different, what we call LMS, a learning management system. So maybe you use Canva, or maybe you use different things. But if you're new to Blackboard, this is some information that you would need. This is just information about where to find things here on Blackboard. My discussion board tips. I've given you some examples of what good full credit answers to discussion questions look like and what not so great answers to discussion questions look like. So this is really helpful, especially for those of you who, discussions can always vary from class to class as far as what the expectations go. Here are my expectations, right? And here's exactly what I'm looking for. And I've given you some examples so that you can kind of get a feel for what a full credit discussion post would actually look like. So let's see. Other than that, the only other thing I'd like you to do as part of this course intro is just introduce yourself. Okay, so do this introduction post. So I've actually put that here. So I'm giving you some information about what I'm looking for. So This is kind of basic, right? So introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself. If you'd like to share a picture, that would be lovely. Here's me. Here's my kiddos. Again, you may or may not hear them during the course of the summer as I'm recording things, and they might be running around in the background. And if they are, no worries, that's part of life right now, right? Back to our learning modules. Your first week of content is also available right now. So what you'll notice here is that I give you an overview of the module, including what our objectives are, what activities I expect you to complete first, and then what assignments are due and when. My discussion posting goes on a Thursday-Sunday schedule, so I'd like you to respond to the discussion prompt by Thursday, and then I'd like you to reply to 2 different people by Sunday. So Thursday and Sunday is how I work my discussion board. Everything else, all other assignments are going to be due on Sundays. So Sundays in general is sort of my deadline for assignments, again, with the exception of your first post to the discussion board. So lecture materials, I've broken everything up. Lecture materials, assignments, and then any additional resources. So lecture materials are quite simply your link to the book here and what sections I'd like you to read. So once again, I'll very specifically tell you, read these sections. Some lecture videos that I have done about the topics you're reading. Please note that in these videos, I was using a textbook. I was using a McGraw-Hill textbook. I don't use that textbook anymore, and I don't expect you to have that textbook. The information is the same. It doesn't really matter, but I might make reference to a table in your book, or I might say in chapter 2, or whatever it happens to be. Please note that, again, this is in reference to a textbook that I previously used for this course. I've decided it's not necessary. Let's save y'all some money. Let's go OER. So if you hear those references, don't panic and be like, oh, I don't have that information. Don't worry about it. I also give you notes, lecture notes. These are what I call guided lecture notes. So the way that these work is you will actually have my notes from the lecture video that you're watching, but you'll notice that there's some keywords that are missing, right? The idea here is that it's a good practice to take the notes and go through the video and sort of fill things in as you go along. You could also use the text to actually help you fill these out too. I mean, there's nothing in here that is unique to the videos that I'm creating. If it works for you to sit there with my guided lecture notes and actually read the text and fill it out, you're more than welcome to do that as well. It just, again, depends on what kind of learner you are, right? Some of us like to read to get our information. Some of us like to listen to lectures to get our information. It's entirely up to you how y'all want to do it, right? So lots of lecture videos in this particular first chapter. So I'm kind of, this first module, I'm hitting you hard with lots of information to begin with. Don't panic, right? Again, the pace is quick, but the information is something you should mostly be familiar with. We're talking about cells, right? We're going to talk about how cells divide, and we're going to talk about a couple different types of cell division. So it shouldn't be completely new. Maybe you haven't had that information in a while, but it should be something most of you are familiar with. So after you go through all of the lecture material, the next thing I'm going to want you to do is do your assignments. So again, you'll have your adaptive practice modules. I will create a different video showing you how to access those modules and those activities. So you can look for that in the course materials folder. You're going to do your discussion questions. So again, linking back to the discussion board, I have discussions already listed out here for you. And then we will, let me go back to my learning modules here. And then your other assignment is a check-in survey. So I use a program called Socrative. Socrative is basically just an online survey kind of generator, if you will. I like it a little bit better than things like SurveyMonkey or Poll Anywhere or some of the other options because I create custom rooms with just your information so that I know which students are checking in each week. And you do get points for these check-ins. So there's nothing you need to sign up for. The only thing you need to know is what the room number is. So you're going to click on this link, which is going to take you to Socrative. It's going to ask you for the room name. And the room name, again, is listed. Oops, that's what Socrative looks like. The room name is listed right here. You're going to use the same room name all semester, Bio 105 W01. So you're going to, it went to the teacher login. Apologies, it automatically went, oh, there it is. You're going to go into Bio 105 W01, so that's our room here. And then it's going to ask you for your Harper username because, again, I'm creating a specific group for us, and I only want our students to use these surveys. And then the survey is some quick questions. It's going to ask you, something about what you learned this week. It's going to ask you, do you have any questions? This is a great opportunity if there's something you didn't understand or something you need more clarification on. This is a great way to let me know that you're like, yeah, I really didn't understand this. Can you help me out with this? So the surveys, check-in surveys are a great way to do that. And then the last thing I quickly wanted to show you is these additional resources. Each week I have websites in particular. Sometimes there'll be videos, but mostly there'll be websites that I think are going to be really, really helpful in building your understanding of whatever topic we're discussing. And so this week it's mitosis and meiosis animations and little step-throughs from a website called Cells Alive. So I really think these are helpful, and this is why I am providing these to you. You don't have to do anything with these. These aren't assignments. This isn't anything you have to turn in. It just happens to be things that I think will be really useful when you're preparing for the exam. So that kind of about wraps it up, and we're again running a little bit long on time, so I don't want to make these videos too lengthy, but that pretty much wraps things up. So what you can expect from the semester going forward, again, is every Monday I will post an announcement with one of these types of videos. I like to keep them a little bit short, usually 5 to 10 minutes is your weekly announcement video. Every Wednesday, I'm going to send you an email that reminds you of what we've got going on, what's due. If issues or questions have come up, I'd like to answer those during that time. And then Sunday, the day that your assignments are due, I'm going to send you another email that says, hey, everybody, your assignments are due. Let's get those turned in. So you're going to get a lot of communication from me this summer. That's kind of the way that I work my courses. So I like to stay on top of things and make sure you all stay on top of things as well. If you ever have any questions, this is an online course, so it's imperative that you reach out to me and ask me those questions because I won't know if you don't ask, right? I don't get to see you all face to face, so you can't stop by and just tell me something. Please do send me an email. I'm very receptive. If there are problems, questions, concerns, anything that comes up, just let me know and reach out to me and tell me what's going on, and we can work through things as best we can. So I'm looking forward to a great summer. It's quick, right? We start this class right as the spring semester is over. So we jump right back into things pretty quickly here, but I'm looking forward to it. And this is an interesting class. I like teaching it. It's personal, it's relatable. We can relate to this information as we move along. You're going to learn some really interesting things, and I hope you enjoy it. So again, let me know if you all have any questions, and I will hopefully get a chance to communicate with you all soon. Thanks, everybody.